Martin Luther King, he said, don't ask your kids what they want to be. Ask them who they want to be. My name is Hasan McWhorter, but most people just call me Mac. I've taught from elementary to adult school. I think there was a study that came out that said 2% of teachers are African-American males, and that's nationwide, right? It's something comfortable about walking in a classroom and seeing somebody you believe has had the same experiences that you have. So I grew up in the city of Compton, California, graduated Compton High School, probably with a D average. I was the first person in my family to graduate high school. I didn't even cross the stage. I think I looked at my graduation from afar. And it had a lot to do with, not my intelligence, it just had a lot to do with my life at the time. My dad was killed when I was 8, and then my mom ended up on drugs. So it was a long story. I was working in construction, just wanted to make money. But I kind of came to the realization that I wasn't gonna make it in society without some type of education. So I decided to go back to community college. I went to El Camino Community College. I took their matriculation examination, and I did terribly. And I remember this commercial that somebody put on a public access station. And it was African-American male. And it was a going joke at the time. And he said, you want to hide something from a black man? He said, just put it in a book, right? So I knew then, like, wow, okay, I have to educate myself. Then I went to the Inglewood Library, the Compton Library, the LA Library, public libraries, and I got library cards for all of them. I was the very first person in my family to get an associate's and a bachelor's degree. And I went and got my master's degree in multicultural education. And it was funny because my whole college life, I was like an outreach counselor. I was like those guys that give tours and all the rest of that stuff. And they started requesting that I come speak to the kids. So I would go speak to the kids, and invariably every single time, somebody would walk up to me and say, I know you want to be an engineer, because I was an engineering major, right? I changed my major so many times, right? And they would always say, well, can you be a teacher first and then go and make your millions or whatever you're going, right? And I was like, I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm definitely not going to be a teacher. That's what I'm not going to be as a teacher. And lo and behold, here I am, right? I found the power of education. My students in high school, guess what they want to learn? They want to learn about a W-9. They want to learn about a W-4. They want to learn about taxes, right? They want to learn about how to get a job. So if they make me teach out of a textbook, for me, it's a template. So I'm going to go outside and grab other things because I want it to be germane to what they are. So I've always broke the rules. I have, and my students have always scored well. It's going to always be a fight, right? And that fight is standardizing them and empowering them. That's the fight. And guess what? You can kind of tell I don't go for standardizing, right? Because you have to understand that these children, what they bring to the table is stressful. You've got everything. You name it, you're gonna have it in your classroom. But at the end of the day, guess what they're all suffering from? The same thing that we all do, right? Whether we're good enough, whether we're smart enough.
How do you get rid of that inner critic inside?
You want the truth? You keep fighting. You never give up. And that's a life journey because you're gonna constantly learn new things. And guess what? There's a learning curve. And that learning curve will discourage us. But here's what I know, that if you keep going, you'll understand it after a while. You're gonna have some challenges. So what you have to do, you gotta work hard at it, work hard at it, work hard at it, work super hard at it, work super hard at it, and by the time you look up, you're gonna have it. And guess what? It's gonna come at the most inopportune time. You're gonna be driving down the street listening to a song, and you're gonna say, God darn it, I got it. Because that's how life works. You keep depositing, and keep struggling with it. It's a fight, it's a struggle. But then, you know what that does? It builds self-esteem.
What advice do you have for our generation?
Do it better than the last generation. Become more individualized. Fight the power, for real. And don't discourage how the power is being fought. You might fight it in this classroom. You might fight it in the boardroom. You might fight it on film. The other people might fight it by protesting. They know somebody else that's gonna fight it in the courtroom. Don't discount how they're fighting it. Just know we're all fighting. See, that's the problem, is that they know how to divide us, right? We need to get more elected officials, because if we get elected officials, we don't need these people marching in the streets. No, we still need those people marching in the streets, right? Well, if we get those people out in the streets, we need somebody to do it in the courtroom. No, we need somebody in the courtroom too. We need somebody in the classroom. We need somebody everywhere fighting the power.